ever wonder how we were going to end up exploring the fallen nation of Khaenri'ah as a region in, what, about 2 years' time? What, were we just going to muck around in the rubbles, play with the dust-covered, barefoot-sitting gremlin they call children? No. Maybe once, but now it seems like there's an alternative. A horrifying one at that. An alternative that may just allow for us to experience Khaenri'ah and all the scum that once resided there in its unholy days, and make it so when we finally head there, it's as if the disaster never happened. The Loom of Fate. Interesting device, huh, fellas? Real game changer, some might say. Literally. And now that the project has finally been completed, a long time coming, might I add, since its inception, it's presumably been in the works for, what, a little under 500 years, and since we entered Teyvat, it's been worked on for around 3 years, but it's done now. The Abyss Order's grand weapon is now here, and with it they may be one step closer to toppling the Divine Thrones. But what is it? How does it work? How can this device help to upend the established order in Teyvat? Well, it can quite literally create ley lines.
As for your question, the Loom of Fate is a device capable of weaving ley lines. In its primitive form, it can only be used to create and implant memories. But as more of it is completed, its power becomes stronger and stronger, until finally, it has the power to weave real ley lines of its own. Teyvat's ley line system is deeply entrenched in the planet. Creating new ley lines can neither replace nor extend the ones that already exist.
But before we speak as to what the Loom of Fates really is at a deeper level, we must first understand, what is a ley line? Before we can ask what a ley line is, we should discuss what a realm is. Before we ask what a realm in Teyvat exists 3 realms: the Light Realm, the Human Realm, and the Void Realm. Naturally, the Light Realm is composed of creatures belonging to the Light Realm, bishops and sovereigns. Yeah, they love the color white, don't they? The Human Realm hosts both humans and gods, and naturally, the Void Realm hosts the Abyss. The former and latter have seemingly always existed in Teyvat and have always been opposed to one another, whilst the Human Realm was presumably made by the heavenly principles. For what purpose, you might ask? It's quite simple. To give humanity a shot at life. And lucky for us, they're Chris Kyle, so thus the Human Realm came to fruition, and with it, subjugated the Light Realm. Again, to give humanity a shot at life. These are the people some say are evil. Asinine, I say. Anyway, through each of these realms flows a current. Sure, why not? In the Light Realm flows elemental currents, in the Dark Realm flows the Void currents, and finally, in the Human Realm flows the ley lines. See, we wrapped it back around in the end. And it's through these ley lines that flows memories, because, quote, it's said the ley lines remember all things that happen in this world, from the surface down to the deepest depths. So, it's in essence a memory recollection system. Well now, isn't that odd? Some of the best among us might go, well, wait a second, there's a memory recollection system that already exists in Teyvat, and it's called Irminsul. So why then would the heavenly principles need to create another in the form of the ley lines? And why then have the Abyss finally gotten around to creating their own memory repository? Well, what if it's because each realm now would have their own memory repository? The Light Realm and Irminsul, the Human Realm and the ley lines, and now the Void Realm and the Loom of Fates. Now we know for a fact the Void Realm is in control of the Loom of Fates. I think we can safely reason the heavenly principles created the ley lines, maybe because they created the human realms. But what of the Light Realm and Irminsul? I won't lie, this is pure speculation on my parts, but part of what I think lends credence to the idea that Irminsul once belonged to the Light Realm and thus predates the arrival of the heavenly principles is the fact that Irminsul is the root of the dendro elements, and given the dendro dragon existed in this world before the heavenly principles, then it seems like dendro and its roots should also exist right beside it, and thus Irminsul should also predate the arrival of the heavenly principles. Now, following the 40 Years' War, the Light Realm would fall under the dominion of the soon-to-be-created Human Realm. The loading screen tip for the Light Realm writes, quote, "Though much like Mother Nature, this realm has fallen under the dominion of humanity, so it could be be, following the subjugation of the Light's realm, the heavenly principles seized Irminsul, and recognizing its value, had avatars that was like Greater Lord Rukkhadevata created to protect it. But if this is true, why then would they need to create another memory repository in the form of the ley lines? No ideas. The only thing we do know, however, is that Irminsul is linked with the ley lines. Quote, "It is said that the roots of all the petrified trees in this world are intertwined at the deepest, most hidden place in the earth, and that the pattern the root system makes defines the ley lines of the world." Keep in mind, taking something from the Light Realm and repurposing it for their own machinations is vintage heavenly principles. Did it with the Sovereign's authorities, why not this? A part of me wants to believe it's because they recognized Irminsul could be tampered with and unreliable in its recounting of the worlds that they said, well, we gotta step up to the plate and make our own shits. But this most recent Archon quest just showed us that the ley lines aren't immune to a similar type of tampering, even if it's less straightforward than that of Irminsul's. In order to alter people's memories using Irminsul, you need the power of a god and access to Irminsul itself. But once you fucking fill out those prerequisites, you can change the entire world's memories. In order to do it using the ley lines, it's a bit more complex and fucked up than that. First and foremost, however, altering the ley lines in a certain area doesn't mean the entire planets will suddenly believe in the new reality, unlike with Irminsul. It seems like most people's minds are bound to local ley lines. So for instance, Caribert is now a person known to the people of Vimara Village. However, he's not known to the entire world. Given it was only a local ley line disturbance near Vimara Village, what the fuck? And now it's worth pointing out, ley line alterations have seemingly only come about as a result of the Abyss Order's experiments in order to create the Loom of Fate. The Heavenly Principles should be in control of two memory systems, the Light Realm's Irminsul and the Human Realm's ley lines. So it could be the Abyss Order wanted their own memory repository, and they in turn created the Loom of Fate, which now would represent the Dark Realm. 3 suppositories. 3 repositories for 3 realms. There we go. But why would they want their own ley line system? My friends, what if it's to revive the homeland? Let's not forget the way we use ley lines all the time, and it's to relive the memories of the land. Quote, "Now that the Storm Terror crisis is past, it's clear skies above Mondstadt once again. However, the memory of facing Dvalin in the sky amidst the storms is ever so vivid. Relive your memories and once again partake in the battle. Maybe you'll learn something new. Every time we do a weekly boss, we are helping to revitalize the ley lines in the area, and they allow us to, if only for a brief moment, revive the past in our minds. I wonder if there's a past the sibiling wants to revive."
In focusing single-mindedly on confronting the heavenly principles, we neglected our original mission, the revival of the homeland.
Well, now isn't that something, huh, fellas? I don't know, though. It feels like a rather big jump to go from fucking turning Hilly Charles back into humans to reviving the nation, or the memory of a nation, and bringing it into reality. But this would help to explain how we do end up winding up in Khaenri'ah, and again, like, 2 years. Fuck it, they brought it back using the Loom of Fate. But if this was the goal, it would then imply that for whatever reason, something happened with Khaenri'ah and the ley line system to the point that we now simply cannot experience Khaenri'ah through it. Let me throw something out there. Given we know the ley lines are deeply entrenched in the world, I mean, Caribert said so, and we know Irminsul is tied to the ley line system, couldn't we call these the foundations of the world? I wonder if Khaenri'ah was doing something to rock these foundations.
6 of us. Together. We should have been the ones to prevent the disaster. The ones to stop the Vinster King from continuing to rock the foundation of the world.
It's always these bastard Khaenri'ahs, man. They tried to take the world down with them, and they still have sympathizers among us. Anyway, but this still would leave us nowhere, given if these were the ley lines Dain was talking about. That, I mean, they seem fine now, and I don't know how that would prevent the current ley lines from letting us relive the memory of Khaenri'ah. And I don't know, I'm still not entirely convinced, just given Caribert told us the Loom of Fates can't mess with the older ley lines, but if that's the case, then how can it accomplish a task as grandiose as allowing us to relive Khaenri'ah? What memories is it going off of? Shouldn't it just be empty, given it was just made, or was it, or is it going to go off the fucking Abyss Order's memories of Khaenri'ah, given the Abyss Order is just comprised of Khaenri'ah scum? Furthermore, given the twins' political answer as to what they plan to do with the Loom of Fates,
The Loom of Fate, huh? I still haven't found a way to utilize it to its full potential. But there's still time.
compared to them being steadfast about their belief in the revival of the homeland, makes me think the two goals could be separate, but you never know.